Hello, we are back with another leg day. This is leg day number 1 of the week, so it's currently Monday. So I always do the same workouts on the same days of the week, just because that's how I like to structure myself. I find it easier to like plan my week around that rather than having it like on a rotation split. So this is Monday's leg day, and I'm making it a little different purely because we've got some work going on in the gym right now, and some of the kit I want to use has been moved. I mean, I could still use it, but it's like it's now about that far away from the treadmills. I thought if I'm on it and someone's on the treadmill, it's going to be a bit awkward, so I'm just switching it up. The only thing I'm changing is, rather than doing my sumo squats on the belt squatter, I'm going to do sumo deadlifts instead. Never actually done sumo deadlifts before, so we're just going to try it out and see what happens. I mean, it's not going to be too different to normal, but it'll be quite nice to have a little switch up, do a little bit of something different. So I just thought I'd run through this leg day for you all, and yeah, keep you up to date with life as we go. Right, I've kept it very light purely because I'm pulling off the floor, and I've not pulled off the floor in a very long time. I actually can't remember the last time I pulled anything off the floor, so being sensible while I warm up. With a sumo squat, what you want to do, I always try and aim for feet wider than shoulder width apart. However, if you are someone whose knees fall in, I'd find a comfortable position where you can still maintain your knees coming out. You want your knees to follow the line of your toes. When I do anything sumo, I turn my toes out slightly. Nothing crazy, just like probably like 30 degrees out, not quite 45, just a little 30 degree. This just helps keep more pressure on the glutes, more tension there. And I know I can squat quite deep with having my knees follow the line of my feet, so I am quite comfortable having my feet wider than shoulder width apart, but just be conscious of your knees while you're doing this, as you don't want your knees collapsing in like so. You want them to stay following the lines of your legs. So as I'm coming down, grabbing the bar, as always, setting my back and my upper body before pulling it off the floor. We don't want to be pulling from up here, we want to be up and set, pulling from the ground, lifting up before bringing it back down again. I'm going to stay slightly bent over, just as this is going to keep more tension on my glutes. So I'm not coming up and locking out because that's taking away the tension. I'm staying bent forward, coming down and lifting up again. Nice, that actually felt fine. I don't know how much heavier I want to make it. Let me have a think. I might be lazy and put it on here, so I can load it a bit easier. It's a good idea. Right, so I've gone with 60. I'm just gonna pop this on the floor, and we'll pull from here. I don't want to mess around, so if I do 2 reps and it's feeling quite light, I'm just going to stop and stick some more weight on it, because I don't want to waste energy doing on sets that aren't going to be a proper top set. So we're just going to go for a couple reps and see what it is. See what it's saying. And yes, I'm using my grips. I have the world's worst grip strength. Do feel like I can go heavier. Might put a 10 on. Let's put a 10 on. That's why I don't like doing That's why I don't like doing stuff out of routine. So I feel like I spend too long trying to work out my new stuff. And like, even though this is a good exercise, I don't feel it in my glutes in the same way as I do on the belt squatter. But you know what, it's the closest comparison I can do right now, because every time I try and do it with a dumbbell and do goblet squats, the dumbbell hits the floor way too early, and then that takes the tension off my glutes, which is not ideal. So that's why I'm doing barbell. But then in the same respects, I can't get as close to the floor, but it's slightly better. So we're just gonna make do for today. I'll stop complaining basically and get on with it. Felt my form go on that last one, so I'm going to stop there and leave it. I'm not going to lie, I did just give up with my sumo deadlifts. The problem with me, as soon as I feel like something's not effective, I'll just stop doing it, because what's the point? What is the point? I couldn't really feel it in my glutes. I felt it a little bit, but not like enough. So I did my top set, I did a back off, but I ended up not going to failure with my back off. Didn't truly go to failure with my top set because I felt my form go a little bit, and I thought I'm not risking injuring my back on a random exercise that I'm doing only because I can't get on the machine I want. So I thought I'll just call it there. You know what, I've done a little bit of something, I'm going to make up for it on my hip thrusts now, do a proper good set. But it's just one of those, isn't it? Like, I've tried something new, I don't like it, that's fine. That probably works, that exercise probably works for a lot of people. I see a lot of like really good gym influencers swearing by it, but for me, I just don't really feel it. I feel like I can't get it enough in my glutes, like I feel it in my lower back, which I don't want. I also find it a bit awkward, the movement pathway. I think if I was to do something, I would almost prefer to do stiff legs or just normal deadlifts rather than sumos. That has always kind of been why I like doing sumos with a goblet. I normally put my feet on like 2 raised platforms and do it with a goblet, which I do quite like. But then I was getting to the point where like I was going so heavy that the dumbbell was so big, it was like bigger than my torso, and then it would like hit the floor, or like my arms couldn't hold on to it, which is why I then moved on to the belt squatter, which was perfect. I don't use the belt, I use the attachment, but it's out of action today. I mean, I could have used it, but it's just in a really awkward spot because it's been moved. But you know what, it's not going to be for long. By next week it'll be back, so I'll just be back to normal next week. So I mean, at least I tried to do something different. Like, I still did my full like sets, just not to the execution I would have liked. I like to do things effectively, and like if things aren't feeling effective, it annoys me a little bit. But it's fine. So I'm going to do some nice heavy hip thrusts now, get a good glute pump on, and not let it annoy me. Sometimes I get a bit too wound up over little things, especially when it comes to the gym. Like, I get upset if I can't like do my workout in the right order, which I know it's silly, it is silly, but I just get a bit particular about my working out. So, but I'm learning to chill. I am learning to chill. I'm learning to take a second and breathe and just zen back to normal. So we're going to do my hip thrusts, nice and heavy, and yeah, hopefully get a really nice pump. Probably take my joggers off after this because I'm getting quite hot. I am getting quite hot. So yeah, I'll get these out of the way and then I can take my joggers off and actually breathe a little bit. Line hamstring curl, and we're going on to my leg extensions now. We added in an extra set on my back offs of my line hamstring curls the other day, which is good. My hamstrings are feeling it, but to be honest, that's what I need because my hamstrings are probably my weakest part. So anything to bring them up is good, because I want to make sure that I've got a good, decent chunk of muscle on my hamstring so it doesn't look outweighed by my quads. So I'm hoping now that I'm starting to now that I'm in prep and I'll be getting leaner, I'm hoping I start to see it a little bit more, because sometimes it's kind of hard to tell in a bulk how much size you've actually put on. Because I mean, you can be like, oh yeah, I'm looking big, and then you strip your fat off and suddenly you're looking not as big anymore. So I'm really hoping as I start to lean out, it keeps its size. And I mean, to be fair, my legs did hold size really nicely when I did my pre-prep cut, but I only got down to 55 kilograms, and to get to stage condition, I'm gonna have to be a hell of a lot lighter than that. So, I mean, at least it bodes well, because I mean, like, I did get lean, sort of lean, nearly lean, and my legs kept their size. Like, they didn't really seem to change size at all. So I'm hoping getting even leaner, they'll still keep their size. I mean, all I'm really fussed about is I just want to be very disproportionate on my lower body and have like a really dominant lower body that like overpowers my upper body, and I'll be happy with that. So hopefully that's the plan. I just want big meaty legs, massive legs, tiny waist. Life will be good. Anyway, I've just done my warm-up set of my leg extensions. Gonna go on to my top set. I don't really think I'm going to be able to film it because the gym is... There's tape everywhere. There's boards everywhere, and I don't want my tripod to be in the way of someone, so I'm just going to... I mean, I could film it from here, realistically. And you guys can just get pure face value of me struggling. Yeah, that might be the plan. Anyway, I'm going to try and do... What did I do last week? I did 85 last week, so if I could do 85 again, that would be quite nice. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm going to crack on with it. And then I've only got my abductors and my calf raises after this, which is quite nice. Been speeding through this one, speedy session, which is always good. The leg extension moves. I was doing my back offset, and I was on the last rep of my back offset, and it just gave way. But you know when it gives way and it makes like a massive bang? I was like, thought the cable on it had just snapped, so it completely dropped. And that's sad I wasn't videoing it. That could have been my viral video there. But it was weird, and then I dropped the weight on it and like tested it out, and it worked. So I don't really know what happened there. I was doing the same weight as I normally did, so I don't really know why it just decided it was going to give way on me today, but oh well. Anyway, I'm doing my abductors now. So I like to do my abductors as a drop set. So I do one top working set, and then my back off set I do as a drop set, just for that extra tension on the muscles. Yeah, hopefully this machine's not going to give way on me, because that was a little scary. I was like, oh, my quads. Oh, I could not deal with a torn quad. Imagine, that hurts so much. I like my quads too much for that. I really do. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get on with, this is my top set. I've warmed up just with 25 on. It's quite a light machine, to be fair, so you can tend to stick quite a bit on and be fine. So what have I got on now? 55. But I do 12 to 15 reps when I do my abductors. And proper reps. Oh my god, the abductor is probably the machine I see being used wrong the most. We either get people just like speed repping it out or doing like half reps. Doesn't really matter if you sit forward or lean forward. I personally do like to be fair, I'm probably more upright than anything. Upright but slightly forward. That's when I feel it the most on my glutes. Some people will feel it more lying back. I feel that more on my hip flexors, if I'm being honest, which is why I tend to do a slight lean forward, but I'm not fully coming down onto the machine. I'm just bracing myself, pulling myself in and slightly leaning in front of the vertical. But I really pause when I'm contracting and then slowly bringing it back down. You don't want to be like pushing it out as fast as you can, because then you're not actually holding tension on your glutes, therefore you're not going to stimulate them and you're not going to grow them. So you want to really push it out, hold that contraction, and then slowly bring them back in. That is the aim. So I will show you guys so you guys know what I mean. Feeling a bit weak today. Some things are going good, some things are not going good. But I think that's just life, to be honest. Onto the final exercise of today's workout, and that is my standing calf raises. I think calves is something that a lot of people can tend to overlook, but if you have weak calves or tight calves, that pulls on your entire like posterior chain. So often like bad backs, tight glutes, like tight hamstrings, all end up working back to your calves, because if they're really tight or weak, it is affecting everything above it. And like it's the same with glutes really. If you're someone who's prone to like a bad lower back, you probably have really tight glutes. And like that is pulling your pelvis a different way, putting excess pressure on your back, which is then why you end up being prone to having back problems. So that's why I like really focus on my stretching and recovery. I think something about myself and something about like people who train in a way that sets them apart from other people. Not saying that I'm set apart from other people, but I do think mentally, I know when this is my life. Like, this is all I care about. To be honest, this and Red and Harry. But realistically, I want my career to be in the gym, so it is all I care about in that sense. So I always ask myself, can I do more? Can I do more? I know I don't want to train more and I can't do more cardio, because that'll be increased in time when I need it. So what can I do to help me further? Stretching and recovery. How can I make myself be in the best possible position for my next training session, so I can get the most out of that next training session? So that's where I do some yoga before every workout. I make sure I train my abs a lot, because that just helps with like your total body strength. And nothing, you can't beat having a strong core. Nothing bad's going to come from having a strong core. And my flexibility, I go in the sauna on rest days. I do sauna, cold shower for that recovery. I get loads of sleep well, loads. I get as much sleep as I can. I am up early most of the time, but I do go to bed very early, so that tries to make up for it a little bit there. I then also make sure I'm hitting all my food targets, so I'm fully got all the nutrition I need. I take my supplements to make sure my body's got everything it needs to properly recover itself in the best way possible. And I think it's just stuff like that, like what can I do to make the difference in those margins that I'm working within, because especially bodybuilding, everyone's good at going to the gym, everyone's good at going to the gym, everyone's good, everyone's muscly, so what can I do to set myself apart that little bit more? Those are the questions I tend to ask myself to try and get even more out of my workout than I already do. And I know like the biggest thing is time, like it is just doing it over a long period of time, so that is why I am a bit more patient, but I do want to also be making sure I'm doing everything I possibly can be to put myself in the best position possible when it comes to competing. Like everything is geared towards that way. Like I prioritize my training, I prioritize my eating, I prioritize myself, to be perfectly honest. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I quite love it. It's my little routine, this is what I do. I just make sure I plan everything. I always put in my diary when am I going to fit my training sessions in around like clients and work, just so I know I'm definitely going to have time to do it, and like all of that stuff. My posing as well, that's another big priority for me, because like especially like posing can make or break a physique. Like it can make a average physique look phenomenal, and it can make a great physique look mediocre in the same respect. So that is why it's kind of like very important to make sure you're hammering it and getting it down, especially when you're a girl and you've got to wear heels. Like I'm in 5-inch stilettos when I'm on stage, so if I can't walk in them, that is trouble. That is big trouble. So that is why I do kind of make sure I've got everything set up, so I know when it comes to show day that I am like ready to go, and I've done as much as I possibly can to make sure I'm like prepared anyway. So I'm going to finish off with my calf raises, and then I'm going to go and do some posing in the studio upstairs. I also have some videos I need to film for some clients, so I'm going to do that while I'm in the studio, and then that is me done. I'm coming back and teaching a class tonight, so that's going to be my ab workout for the day, because I'm teaching a core class tonight, which will be very good. So that is the plan, that is the routine, that's what we're going for. And yeah, so I'll see you when I'm posing. That is it for today's video. Thank you as always for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my glutes and ham day. I don't think I've actually shown that video on my workout on my channel since my very first video. So yeah, shame it wasn't as normal as normal. Shame it wasn't the same exercises as normal, but you know what, it was nice to try something a little different. Tried, worked out that I don't like it, but that's fine. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.